The topic we're going to talk about related to the trade blocks agreements is that one of Mercosur. Firstly, we're going to take a general overview related to what Mercosur is. Southern Common Market, Mercosur, it is a Latin American regional integration process which was founded on March 26, 1991. With the signing of the treaty in the country of Paraguay by the member countries like Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, and Uruguay. Countries like Venezuela and Bolivia joined the commercial bloc as well. Currently, the headquarters of the bloc is located in the city of Montevideo. Officially, Mercosur also reports that Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Guyana, and Suriname integrate the bloc as associated states. The bloc does not have the figure of observer states. The official map of Mercosur includes the six countries mentioned and defines them as states parties. Mercosur was created since until the mid 1980s. The four countries had remained isolated from each other and physically connections were scarce. The commercial exchange was minimal. In this way, through the Protocol of Ouro Preto established a common external tariff, and since 1999 there is a duty-free zone among its members, although except a series of products such as sugar. In 2006, Venezuela signed the Protocol of Associations to Mercosur, completing the process in 2012, at which time it became a full member. In 2012, it was the turn of Bolivia to sign the Protocol of Association to Mercosur, which was perfected in 2015 with a signature in the conformity of Paraguay being considered a state party in the process of association with voice but without vote until the legal process is completed, moment from which, if completed, will become a full member. The basis of Mercosur is a democratic charter that does not allow members of the bloc of non-democratic countries and established a free trade zone and common tariff agreements, as well as various mechanisms of productive complementation and economic, social, and cultural integration, including the free movement of citizens within the bloc. The official languages of Mercosur are Spanish, Portuguese, and Guarani. On the other hand, Mercosur is identified as the most dynamic, competitive, and developed economic area and industrial platform, not only in Latin America but throughout the southern hemisphere. This bloc is considered the fourth economic bloc in the world in importance and turnover, and the fifth world economy considering the nominal GDP produced by entire bloc. In addition, the economic importance that Mercosur represents in all of Latin America, this one implies a great geopolitical relevance since two of its members, Argentina and Brazil, are members of exclusive G20. Now we're gonna talk more related to the main products which are traded within this bloc. The main products traded between Mercosur countries are soybeans, which take part 11.4% of total trade, followed by petroleum oils with 8.9%, iron ores with 7.2%, and maize corn in grain with 4.8%. The automotive industry is a sector that benefited the most from Mercosur. Brazil and Argentina were able to integrate their automobile chains through possibilities that bloc created. Brazil and Argentina are ranked third related to the global market for automobiles. Only China and United States are ranked higher. In 2013, Brazil imported 47% of Argentine automobile production. 85% of Argentine export of vehicles last year were toward the Brazilian market. In 2013, 16% of the Brazilian productions of automobiles and 80% of vehicle export from Brazil represent export to Argentina. Now we're going to talk in a more depth related to the recent developments that have happened related to Mercosur. One of the most important events for Mercosur has happened in 2019. After almost 20 years of negotiations with European Union, the two regions reached a comprehensive trade agreement. According to CNN, this agreement will consolidate a strategic political and economic partnership and create significant opportunities for sustainable growth on both sides. The agreement released was that Europe will reduce tariff on goods such as cars and wine, increasing as well the access for European companies into Southern America. On the other hand, Mercosur is going to increase farm exports with new quotas at beef. 99,000 tons at 7.5% tariffs in 5 years, tariff free for sugar and poultry at 180,000 tons. Local farmers were concerned about losing market share with this agreement. However, there are two sides to be considered, as expanding the market to EU producers can help businesses grow inside the EU as well. The deal impacts more than 780 million people and would save more than 4.5 billion per year, which was one of the biggest agreements in EU. The Brazilian president celebrated this agreement as being one of the most important for the Brazilians in the past years and would help as well with Argentina in the future. Nowadays, some developments in the Mercosur trade bloc has been implemented. First of all, the agreement for mutual recognition of digital signatures. Group members state that this agreement will benefit the security of transaction for trade documents. The digital signature provides through the digital certification ensure direct relationship between parties in a contract with guarantee of integrity. With the agreement, they expect benefits for businesses and saving in costs. Besides, they enable the exchange of electronic documents between governments, companies, citizens of the bloc. Secondly, regardless to the fighting crimes, the bloc has created the Police Cooperation Agreement. It will bring mechanisms for mutual assistance and police cooperation in border areas, allowing mutual technical support, training and exchange on information, execution of research activities and cross-border persecution. Also will allow law enforcement authorities of one country signing the agreement to act as observers in another signing country. Finally, for facilitate the integration of the citizens in the border communities, they signed in December 2019 the agreement on linked borders which will favor citizens and companies, allowing exercise of the job, trade or profession following the laws intended for nationals of the state's parties, assistance to public schools under conditions of free reciprocal access to the border trade regime of merchandise or substance products. Now we're going to talk more about Canada and Mercosur Free Trade Agreement. So, Canada recently concluded explanatory discussions for a free trade agreement with Mercosur countries, Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, and Uruguay. Canada and Mercosur member states that have agreed on a strong potential to develop a more ambitious trade relationship by enhancing trade and investment flows through a comprehensive free trade agreement. The main benefits of free trade agreement to Mercosur members is expected to be a reduction on tariffs on Mercosur exports to Canada. Companies that are part of Mercosur members state that will be able to provide competitive pricing, which will benefit Canadian customers looking for affordability. According to the Minister of International Trade, the free trade agreement with Mercosur could reduce the current tariffs of up to 35% on Canadian automotive, 18% on chemicals, plastics, and scientific instruments, 14% on pharmaceuticals, 16% on aluminum and forest productions, 20% on machinery, equipment, and information and communications technology. According to the Brazilian government, the free trade agreement has the potential to create opportunities for at least 19 Brazilian products, including footwear, chemicals, rubber, non-metallic minerals, and automobiles. The free trade agreement is also exploring the elimination of export tariffs for Brazilian goods, especially in the industrial sector. The free trade agreement scope is expected to cover trade in goods, rules of origin, origin producers, trade facilitation, and custom cooperation, trade remedies, sanitary and pharmaceutical measures. Thank you for listening. This project is done by Ronaldo, Christian, and Alex.